it again and thought that perhaps, maybe, just maybe, that they would emerge from their season-long funk and win a football game, but it appears the opposite is true. They're going the other way. So we'll find out. But I'll get to wagers with her in the back half and all that good stuff. I got Lee Sterling's games here. Looking forward to it. Exhibition basketball as a reminder tonight. If you're going to look for something to do this evening around 6 o'clock, maybe after you get done watching the little happy hour show with myself and Corey Clark over at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, you get you a tall, frosty, cold one, and then make your way on over to the Civic Center and watch basketball.
Yeah, it's free for all.
TLC, sorry.
It's free for all to go to this game,
yes,
and you'll see it. I mean, I've got it on my Twitter feed. It'll be on the JCS feed momentarily, probably this break. But there is a direct link because I don't know that they're taking cash donations at the door for the Aubrey Boyd Foundation, but tonight is Aubrey Boyd night, and Leonard talked about that yesterday. There is a direct link where you can support this most worthy cause that is being circled around on social media. We will make sure to make that available to you should you wish to support an awesome foundation, the Aubrey Boyd Charities.
Yeah, they've done it for years and years and years and years. Aubrey Boyd was a player here many moons ago, and unfortunately was in a terrible accident that left him paralyzed. And Leonard Hamilton and Florida State University have done a very good job of helping support him and his many needs, obviously, after a devastating crash like that. You can only imagine the health issues that arise from that and the care needed. So that is always a good thing. And so if you can, whatever you can contribute, that's a good thing. And go on in there and enjoy basketball. Ham said yesterday on the show when talking with us that no doubt he's going to try to play everybody he can. You got some nicks and bruises out there. Ham never gets really into injuries. You saw he caught himself yesterday when I brought up how healthy are they. And he said, well, we have some, he was about to say, we never talk about injuries, Jeff. But then he thought, Jeff's a good guy. I'll be more candid with him. We'll do the right thing here and admit that we've had some ankle turns here, strain there. He also talked about the flu, and that actually is something that, and I don't think it was by accident. Man, that is a problem for Florida State athletics right now throughout, really the university. And we know how it is, man. Big Halloween, everybody has a good time. Somebody's got the flu.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Well, and you talk about density, population density. With the way College Town is, there were 3 or 4 different places in town that you could go in our area, and it was evenly spread. But, now that everybody pretty much lives on campus or within a walking distance of being able to go to a class, much different existence than you or I had at Florida State, where you needed a car.
Yeah, you needed a car.
You don't really need one now.
And there was never any parking, and so you just got a ton of tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, at least I did. Yeah, it's true story. True story. That game, again, 6 o'clock. Yeah, you don't need it now. Everybody's right there together.
Yep.
Do. That's the way it should be. NAIA opponent in Florida College tonight. They're in Temple Terrace, Tom. That's where they are. Did you know that?
Temple Terrace? No, I had no idea.
Yeah, they're in Temple Terrace. It is the second of the 2 exhibition games for us. And then we open up the 31-game regular season next Wednesday night. So less than a week. Next Wednesday night on a Balls McWednesday. Of course it's Wednesday night. Always. It's about me, Tom. I know. Sorry. I'm lamenting it, as I often do during basketball season, because I do the golf show, which I love to do on SiriusXM PGA Tour Network. And it's fun to be with my man, Trey Jones. But we forever miss Wednesday night basketball games.
You need to move that show. Yeah. I think that's what you need to do. Just move it to Thursdays. There's never any ACC basketball on a Thursday. Maybe you get a random holiday game here or there. But you should just talk to the bigwigs and be like, hey, it's better for us. So you guys shuffle what you need to shuffle. We're just going to go on Thursday.
I had an opportunity last week. I just renewed my contract with SiriusXM, and I could have said, guys, I'm about done with this. I love working for you. You're a wonderful company. It's been a good 6 years. Can you believe that, by the way?
I can.
Yeah, 6 years. It's like
all at once it flies. But where we met for lunch to go over the particulars as Coach Trey Jones was kicking the tires on it was in the neighborhood of the old station, over by closer to campus.
Yeah. We had a productive lunch there. This will, we're going into, I guess, it's 6 behind us into the 7th year now that on the air. But yeah, I should have said before I signed the deal, hey, no more of this Wednesday night stuff. We're moving the show. Trey, you cool with that? We're moving the show. It's going to be Tuesday nights.
Right.
Tuesday nights.
You worry about traveling to all these sites for weekend tournaments.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
So anyhow, they're going to play Penn. If you need to know, the Falcons have already played 4 games. They're 4-0, by the way. They've won by an average of 101-62. They beat Division II Mississippi College. So no, wait. Do I have this wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, I got it right. I was looking at the numbers wrong.
It's an exhibition game. I don't care.
I'm breaking it down, Tom. We'll see if Anthony Polite is out of street clothes and ready to play. He was in street clothes for game number 1. So I don't know. Hey, Eric Angel, how are you, buddy? Happy Libations Friday to you and yours as well. Go Noles. I'm probably down for my that's good. Lots of folks are excited on a Friday.
Yeah, the TV announcements, I put that on the boards yesterday. From what we understand, and we have friends in the business who might be able to get a leg up on these things. Nooner is big plus money. A Nooner is big plus money for next weekend. You're looking at midday or nighttime, depending upon the way the chips fall. Now, 6-day options are uncertain. That's why they're 6-day options, and they just don't announce the kickoff the weekend before. But midday to evening, depending upon what network this thing lands on, how enticing it is to ESPN executives will tell the tale between midday or nighttime.
So if we lose, it's a noon game, and if we win, it's a night game.
No, midday or night. Noon game is big plus money. Big plus money. It's a big underdog.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Minus money's actually on the night kick, and you might imagine that means that a certain network would grab it because you're not putting that on ABC. Not this Miami team, not this Florida State team. Might be the conference network next weekend. We shall see, though.
Really?
We shall. Yes.
Really?
That's one of the 2 main options at this point.
Wow.
But 6-day options protect themselves in case the whole landscape goes crazy this weekend and they just want to throw everything up to the sky.
Terry wants to know if it's that cold today in Tallahassee. It looks like snow by the beanie Tom is wearing, and I've got a sweater on too. Tom tends to overdress for the cool weather, which is odd to me, but he always has. And he finds those clothes comfortable. I think I dare say, right?
Yep.
That's what it is.
Look at this thing. Are you kidding?
Well, no, that thing's very comfortable, but I can't do the beanie unless it's really really.
The beanie, this particular one, when you spend as much money on any gear that has a Ryder Cup logo,
you want to wear it.
You're going to find
if it's below 75, you're like, time for the beanie.
Time for the beanie. Now it's a high of like 56 today, and it's cold, so it gets through the layers. So, but I'm not outside often enough to really warrant this. But this beanie wasn't $10, man. So I'm gonna find some time to wear it.
It's chilly. It's a little chilly. I got up, walked outside. It was raining this morning early. It was nice and nipply. I went, all righty.
Oh, nice and what now?
Nipply. It was, I was like, okay.
All right.
So Florida State, NC State, I think if the full allotment of players that we rely upon are available and good to go, we could have us a good game. Could have us a really good game well into the 4th quarter, edge of your seat type stuff. If, in fact, some guys are down with the flu bug, or we've had folks not be able to practice, and both of those things have already been admitted to by Mike Norvell. I'm not revealing secrets here. Maybe not personnel, but he's talked about the flu bug going through the team. So you worry about that because this was already a tough matchup, but it's an extraordinarily tough matchup if you don't have all your guys and or the guys you do have are not at full strength. NC State doesn't tend to make mistakes. They just don't make a lot of mistakes. They make you earn it. And in order to earn it, given Florida State's weaknesses, they're going to need all hands on deck. I am knocking on wood that is the case, that everybody is good to go, because this is a winnable game if, in fact, you stay in it early and you get into that second half. NC State has been pretty average on the road, period. They've been a much better home team than road team. They average far fewer points on the road than they do at home. A lot of teams do that. I'm just pointing out that they're there to be gotten a little bit on the road. And this team has certainly been able to reach back and find a little something to compete with teams that frankly have deeper and better personnel in a lot of areas. So that's one of the things that I find most commendable about this squad is they have not wavered in their effort week to week, even when things were going terribly wrong. So I do expect them to show up, is my point. I do expect them to not go through the motions. Now, again, how weathered and beaten down are they, both mentally and physically? You won't know until you get out there and you start watching warm-ups and you see this guy's available, this guy's not available, this guy's in street clothes, this guy's ready to go. And you won't know until we get early in a game and they face some adversity. How do they respond? But again, I would think in terms of preparation and being where they're at in the mental state, I think they'll come out fighting because that's what they've been this year. A team that not always good, but certainly fights. So.
Yeah, if you force a turnover, throw a celebration because the NC State's only turned the ball over as a team 6 times this year. That's it, 6. And their quarterback, Devin Leary, hasn't thrown a pick since week 2, the final play in desperation against Mississippi State.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it,
he's a good player.
The situation where he throws a pick against USF, that game's in no danger at any point. That was week 1. Week 2, desperation, 4th down heave against Mississippi State. He hasn't really thrown a legitimate interception this year in a game where it's in the balance. So if you do so tomorrow, that would be the first time it's happened to NC State this year. Only 4 other turnovers, too.
I do think, Tom, you got to win red zone here, but I do think Florida State's corners have come up and tackled.
Yep.
They've really come up and tackled lately. They've been physical pretty much all year long. They haven't always been good, but they've been physical. And they'll come up and hit you in the run game. And if you keep it underneath and you keep it, you avoid the big play. Let's say that. All right. Okay. All right. Tackle, wrap up.
Yeah.
Hold them to field goals. Let's go.
Yeah. What they've got in terms of the way they attack, more mannish principles. We play kind of sort of man. It's certainly not like a hardcore Tampa 2 or cover 3 scheme, right? So we play a little bit more man principles where we match.
We have to. We can't play. Our zone is terrible.
Correct. Well, it's because of the middle of the field.
Correct.
It's because of that second level. You just can't do it.
I just beat that drum over and over and over again. It drives me nuts.
They like to throw those little flares and bubble screens, but the one thing he does poorly is he'll telegraph the hell out of that, and we like to get downhill anyway. That's where I look for opportunities to create negatives, right?
Yeah,
2nd and 9s, or maybe even you tackle them behind the line of scrimmage. Other than that, though, they like to go, if you're in man coverage, they love the RPO game. They love to create rubs. They do all of these things really well with all their receivers. Mm-hmm. And they understand they're smart receivers.
They got big, strong receivers, one who really likes to drop the ball, but nonetheless is big and strong. And then, of course, they're physical in the run game. They haven't run the ball well lately, and I doubt they run the ball well tomorrow against our front 4. So there is some hope here.
Yeah, Bam Knight has actually been pretty bad the last 2 weeks.
Which is odd because I like him as a player.
I do too. He's really tough. Person, the junior, has had better weeks, and he's more of their chunk play guy. In every game but one, he's got to run for 17 yards or more. In 5 different games this year, he's got to catch for over 10, 15 yards. I forget what the benchmark was. I wrote it in 3rd and Lang today. But he's the guy who can grab yardage in chunks. Bam Knight is the bruiser. He's the guy that if they decide we're going to run the ball 30 times today, well, you would expect Bam Knight to get 18 to 20 carries. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that Bam in the last 2 weeks is averaging just over 2 yards a carry. One of those games is against Miami, who hasn't stopped the run all season long. So I found that kind of alarming. If this is a sloppy track tomorrow, given it's damp out there all day today, it's going to be raining on and off into tomorrow, and it's going to be that cold kind of, it could be slippery on the grass here in Florida. You might actually be looking at a bit of a slop fest, and that would big time favor Florida State.
I root for every game to be a mess because we're a run-oriented team, and I want to take the opposing team's passing game away because I love our front 4. So let's go wet field. Let's get to that. Let's have it be miserable. Absolutely. I rooted for that up in North Carolina, as you recall, and the bottom line is Florida State wants to mitigate the disadvantages they have. And I do think that most of the time inclement weather, slippery fields, slop fests benefit Florida State greatly compared to most of their opponents. Most of our opponents actually have some semblance of a passing game. So if that gets taken away with weather and wind, that's a good thing.
And the thing about this kid is he can make all those throws. It doesn't mean he does, every throw consistently. Every time he wants to make a throw, he can. But if you look at the repertoire, back shoulder fade, got it. Deep post down the field, got it outside the numbers. Deep shots, yes. He understands curl flat if you're playing zone. Everything that you need in a college quarterback to do, Devin Leary can do, and he doesn't turn it over all that much. The good news is, even though he scored a 17-yard rushing touchdown against Miami, it was on a quarterback draw. I'm sure it worked because Miami was like, what the hell is this? He can't run the ball that well. So this is the first time in a while playing in the ACC where you say, oh, this guy's more of a statue. So if the front 4 can get on him, then you might be able to bring him down for multiple sacks.
He's a strong kid, though. I will say that if they design runs for him, you do have to come up and tackle. That's a big, strong kid.
Yeah, 6'1", 215.
Yeah, I'm saying he's thick. If you look at his lower half, he's a strong kid. You can't be in here half-stepping. No pussyfooting, dog.
He's also from Jersey.
Yeah. You got to come up and hit him now.
He's got the hair for Jersey, too. He looks like Jersey Shore.
Well, one of the things I like about him and that I liked about him before the season, and I liked him last year before he got hurt, and this is not going to be prattling on for love of our opponent, but he's just tough. He's a game kind of kid, man. He's a tough kid. And so, you got to match that. You got to have a little what for it to you. But luckily, our front four certainly does. I mean, that's one thing that we possess some toughness there.
Well, we all make fun of Dave Doran because we should. They lose games they got no business losing routinely.
No business.
No business about it.
Always.
But I like that offense. And that's where I hope we get our offense to in the next couple of years. Because if they expose a weakness, they'll go back to it
over and over and over again.
Run the ball, pass the ball. Either way.
Well, you almost opened the door to a much different conversation that many in this program and certainly the fan base is beginning to have. And I've thought it too, is when do you pull the trigger on more facets of what you're ultimately going to want to run as an offensive brain trust? We're not running our offense, meaning Norvell's offense at Memphis, is not really being run here. This is patchwork to play to a skill set that your quarterback possesses, which is smart because you have to be something. If they tried doing the other stuff early in the year, and we saw how disjointed and convoluted that looked, and what a nightmare that turned out to be. So it was at that moment they realized, okay, that can't exist. We can't have nice things right now. What can we do? Well, this is what this kid can do, and we'll play to it. And then as the relative health of the offensive line improved, they had success with it. In particular, against North Carolina on the road, where you were a distinct underdog and you won, pretty much manhandled UNC. Of course, the offense wasn't the reason that you beat UMass. UMass just sucks. So really, what we're talking about are the two significant wins, Syracuse and North Carolina. Actually, Syracuse, that win looks better all the time to me, but that's another story. At some point, though, again, if you're selling what you are and what you're going to be and how somebody can help you, meaning recruits, you do have to talk to them about other facets of what you want to run and or show them. If you're trying to get a wide receiver in the transfer portal, why on earth would he come here if he thinks this is what you're running?
Yeah. Well, wait till you see how Chubba Purdy runs this. Oh, wait a minute.
Again, if you're a receiver saying, look, man, great. I appreciate where you're going. I can see the culture's changed. I like your fight. Yeah, you got a track record back at Memphis. I saw that too, and it was impressive. But when I watched Florida State, I don't see you guys doing that stuff. I see you're pretty much, you're playing people one-handed. And I want to put up numbers. I want to go to the league. 14 catches in a season ain't going to do that. So I'm looking at your roster here, and I see that we got a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
you're Vincent Vega looking around.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's crazy because it is a tough decision because you want to give yourself the best opportunity to win football games in the now, because that too influences recruiting and changes the way collectively the fans feel, the boosters feel, the players feel. And on the other hand, you're like, we're not really showing anything that we want to run right now. I mean, this is one tiny aspect of what we want to do. It is part of what we can do, but it's one very small aspect.
Well, what's interesting is looking at Louisville and NC State, the matchup last week. Louisville ran for over 200 yards on NC State, but a lot of it was because Malik Cunningham was effective in the running game. This has to be a game plan that looks different than the Clemson one, insofar as Jordan needs to be able to run the ball, and you need to feature that.
Well,
because by drive 3 or 4 on Saturday last week, he's dropping back and going through progressions.
Because they knew they couldn't run the ball. And it's such a tough deal, man. Sometimes you're up against it. Our ass was in the jackpot, Tom.
Oh, it constantly is.
Well, but I mean, it was in the jackpot before we stepped foot on the field because that matchup is all wrong for us, baby. They are too big, too strong, too deep, too talented up front, manhandled our offensive line in a way that NC State won't. Now, NC State will have their fair share of success, but they won't do to us what Clemson did because few teams are equipped to do so. So they wanted to run Jordan Travis, but
there's only 3 of them too. It's all about the angles their second layer takes. If they're game on that, then, we've got some adjustments to make.
Yeah. And
we'll see.
Listen, in the wind. Yes, exactly. Yes. You have to, I've been preaching this for a long time now. And, you probably get tired of hearing me and Corey yell at each other back and forth on Seminole headlines about this. But, yes, you need a vertical passing game. You need a balanced, some sort of balance. It doesn't have to be 50-50. You have to have something that makes defenses guard the field, the whole field. I mean, they know that it's pretty easy to defend Florida State. Now, again, if you're lacking in personnel, and that's all the more reason that I give praise to Norvell and Dillingham, who I think have done a pretty good job on the whole post Jacksonville State of putting together something that gives them a fighting chance every week. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Radio Warchant TV.
This is Dr. James Ryan Finn from Finn Chiropractic, and the holiday insanity is upon us. It's Halloween, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, it's New Year's, and oh my gosh, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Well, don't wait to Valentine's Day to give yourself some love. Come to Finn Chiropractic. Let us get to the cause of your headaches, neck pain, back pain, numbness, and tingling before the holiday insanity takes its toll. Contact us at finchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com, because your chiropractor loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Pen Talbot Jewelry, pen Talbot Jewelry, pen Talbot Jewelry, home of the real nice price.
Hey man, have you heard the sound? The Talbot Jewelry's the best in town. Rings, diamonds, earrings, bracelets, and more. Pen Talbot Jewelry Store.
I hate to even mention this, but the holidays are just around the corner. It's never too early to go shopping for that special someone at a very special place. The very special place I'm talking about is Pentalpha Jewelry on Appalachia Parkway, in the same place where they've always been. Go see our great friends at Pentalpha, and they will help guide you and find the perfect gift for that special someone in your life. Because remember, the holidays are just around the corner. So go see our great friends at Pentalpha Jewelry on Appalachia Parkway. Now sing along with me.
Talbot Jewelry, pen Talbot Jewelry, pen Talbot Jewelry, home of the real nice price.
Leaky faucet, busted pipes, clogged toilet? M&L Plumbing is here for you. For all commercial, construction, and residential plumbing issues, call M&L Plumbing at 575-9393 or visit online at mnlplumbing.com.
Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at widdenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
Give your business a facelift with a modern, consistent, creative brand overhaul from Curiosity Marketing Group. These days, it's not enough for your business just to have a standard website or a Google listing to reach your customers. Your business needs to stand out with eye-popping branding, modern web development, and strong marketing. And it takes a team to pull it all together. Words and websites matter. At Curiosity, we make the most of yours. Find out more at curiositymg.com.
I used to fight almost on a daily basis working on my business website. I'm a pretty smart guy, but I could never get it to function the way I needed it to, and I was losing customers because of it. That's when I called Curiosity Marketing. They listened, they understood, we collaborated, and in the end, they delivered beyond my highest expectations. Now, I can barely keep up with the work. They say the future belongs to the curious, and now I'm excited about the future of my business.
Find out more at curiositymg.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
I'm just having fun.
Some good notes there.
Sometimes I forget we're doing a radio show. It's just been me driving down the road listening to Psychedelic Furs.
They're good.
Yeah, very good. So it is that we bring in my man, Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. We do it every week at this time. He had a great week last week, 3-1-1 for us here on the show. I'm sure he won for his clients as he's wont to do. Lee, how are you, brother?
I'm good. Crazy games last week. I mean, yours was the craziest ending, but that happens like 3 or 4 times a year now.
I feel like it does too. I've noticed that when I saw the play, and you could almost see it in slow motion as it pertains to gambling. Of course, I'm like, oh, somebody's about to get screwed. Or win a game they had no business winning. Right. Like if you had taken Clemson and gave the 9.5, you're like, oh my God, did I just win this?
When you're in the sports book and that happens,
oh, it's the best.
Wins. And you lose, you just want to punch them in the face, right?
Oh, yeah, they're running halfway down the hall to go get a drink and celebrate their winnings. Meanwhile, you fall to your knees and go, are you effing kidding me? I was on the right side of this game. Yeah.
For 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah. And then it happens.
They never trailed above the spread until that last play.
Yeah, it was crazy. But you're right. It does happen a lot. We've seen it happen. It's always highlighted on bad beats. Everybody sees it and goes, oh, my God, this is going to happen. And the weirdest part about it is that play never works. It never works when you watch people pitching it all around. It always ends with a touchdown for the other team. It's crazy.
Right. But you have no other choice.
No, you're trying anything desperate. Yeah, you are. All right, so I was telling folks earlier this week, I would not bet this game. I can't touch Florida right now with a 10-foot pole because I don't know where their head's at. Their head coach says something every week that sounds like he's trying to get fired. I don't know what to do with Dan Mullen in Florida giving 18 to South Carolina. I know South Carolina sucks, but I don't know if Florida cares to play the game. How are you looking at this one?
Yeah, I think it's a tough game. So I think that their heads may not be in it. I think that you can't trust them. They haven't even decided on a quarterback here. So I mean, we're going into week 9. Haven't decided on a quarterback. And the last 2 minutes of the first half of that collapse against Georgia was an epic collapse. So what do they have to play for? Nothing. South Carolina had a bye. They're not any good to prepare for it. And I think Florida, if I had to pick a side, we always do the Florida State Miami game.
Sure.
If they had to prepare for it, I think they might. And I think if you have to pick a side, you go with Florida to win 35-24 with South Carolina to cover.
Whew. Yeah. I think, kids, you can hear it there. Myself and Lee are telling you, don't bet this game. Just leave it alone. Miami's given 10 to Georgia Tech. All of a sudden, with Van Dyke at quarterback, Miami looks like a team that could win the Coastal. I mean, it's crazy to look at this team playing hard, playing smart, playing well, looking like they have some offensive prowess.
Right.
This is amazing. I mean, it looks like Manny Diaz is going to save his job. Do you give the 10 to Georgia Tech, who I think is going in the wrong direction?
So I think that as long as he wins 3 out of 4, he's coming back. And shouldn't be too tough. They're going to be favored in every single game. Now, Georgia Tech, whenever it looks like Miami should roll.
Yeah, Tech rises up.
Yeah, I mean, we were 7-1 against them at one point in the last 8 games, and then the last 3 they've covered. Jeff Sims is I wouldn't want him as my quarterback, but there's a couple times a year where he just plays out of his mind. I mean, and then there's sometimes he's the type quarterback, he can throw 4 interceptions in a game and even fumble it a couple times. He's that quarterback that's running along, just drops the ball. He's that guy. Am I right?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't want him either. And it's funny because he was committed to Florida State. And, of course, then when he didn't come, then Georgia Tech beat Florida State. Everybody said, see, we should have got Jeff Sims. I'm like, no, he kind of sucks. It's just that we're bad.
I remember that game. He wasn't that great in the game.
No.
Just that Florida State was terrible.
Yes.
That game. But so I think they're going to play hard, Georgia Tech. If the line's like 6.5, I'll take Miami. But 10.5, I think the right side here is probably Georgia Tech. I don't know if Miami, you can trust them to win by pretty much 2 touchdowns at this point. I think they're still young. There's some talented kids on the roster, true freshmen, and they're getting a lot of playing time now. But still think Miami is untrustable. Let's put it that way. Miami wins 37-28, but Georgia Tech covers.
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
I'm curious. If I'm a Miami fan, and you are, if I'm a Miami fan, am I pissed that they're going to win these games and now I got to bring Manny Diaz back? Because we both know he's not the guy.
Yeah, I am personally. So you watch these games. Well, why don't you? Have you ever rooted against Florida State so a coach gets fired?
I wanted Jeff Bowden out of here in the worst way, and I rooted for his continued failures so it would expedite the process. Yes.
So I never thought, going back to like 2001, 2002, never thought that I would root against Miami, but I have in pretty much at the ending of every regime. So, when it was Randy Shannon.
Yeah, you trying to get him out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's over. I just want it pains me to root against Miami, but, you just sit there. You're almost numb. It's watching a game numb is what it is.
You know what you do? Here's what I have figured out. I can't root against Florida State. I cannot.
Okay.
But I can watch a game and see an individual's failures who I'd like to see removed.
Right.
And remain emotionless about it. I can look at it.
Probably more what I do. I take notes.
Yeah.
And you should see my notes. When we're winning and we were good, I mean, there weren't that many notes. When you're losing,
yeah.
I mean, every single play. I mean, I can find almost one or two guys not doing their job. And what's scary about Miami, they're still, you look at their linebackers. Watch 11, 17, and 44. Flag, Jennings, one other guy. They are so bad in open space. They are slow. They don't anticipate. There was times, I think 2 of the 3 against Pittsburgh, quarterback ran, and he didn't even have to make a move. He just ran by him, and they were still 4 or 5 yards away from him. And, I mean, he just took off. Like he was gaining. It was like a thoroughbred against, a horse that's getting ready to go to the glue factory. I mean, these are guys that are getting – Miami, they don't have a running back, a linebacker on the roster right now that would start at most junior colleges. So that bad.
Well, that's, buddy, welcome to my world. I mean, this is Florida State's linebacking core. Texas A&M giving 4 to Auburn in the game of the weekend.
Oh, this should be a fun game.
Yeah.
I think that Jimbo, by having the extra week to prepare, really helps him. He's got some weapons. He's got a couple absolute thoroughbreds at running back. He's got a couple guys sitting on the bench, 3rd, 4th stringers that you're going to see them play next year, and you'll be like, God, I didn't realize he had that many good running backs. And he's got some wide receivers that can make a play, break a tackle, and go the distance. Whereas I don't think Auburn has those guys. I mean, Bonix has been better, cutting down on turnovers, and he did beat LSU and Arkansas on the road, but the Yankee defense is way above, those 2 defenses. They've got guys rushing the passer at linebacker, that can, and defensive back to make plays on the ball here. And those teams just don't have those guys. Well, LSU did, but they're all done for the year. So I think he's going to dial up a pretty darn good game plan. Auburn lost by 8 on the road to Penn State, and A&M is better than Penn State. Give me the Aggies 30-20.
North Carolina giving 2.5 to Wake Forest is a weird thing where most people see this line. They say, what? Give me Wake Forest all day long. But that Wake Forest defense is beat to hell. They gave up, 50 points to Army? It's a weird team. They're very, very impressive for the season that they're having, but I'm not surprised to see Carolina favored. Are you?
I thought it'd be about a pick 'em.
Okay.
I think it should be about a pick 'em. So here's the thing with North Carolina. There's like 4 or 5 teams, 3 that come to mind that are not playing up to their potential. Now, Coastal Carolina and Liberty returned practically their whole team and aren't the same team this year. North Carolina, their defense, they returned 10 of 11 guys, except for Surratt and middle linebacker. They returned everyone. They returned their whole offensive line. Their offensive line stinks this year. It's the same guys. It's crazy. Now, we knew they were, they had lost their receivers and running backs. And they haven't been able to find guys that are at that level. I understand that. But, that's Mac Brown. Mac Brown, when the expectations are high, he goes in the you-know-what.
Correct.
The latrine. when there's no expectations is when he surprises people. And that's what happened last year. So I don't know if you know this. Wake Forest's 8-0 start is their best start, matches their best start since World War II. It's the first time they've ever been ranked in the top 10. Remember the year they went to the Orange Bowl?
Yes. Gosh, I'd forgotten about it, but yes.
Yeah, they were not ranked in the top 10. I think their offense is scary good. I mean, are they a top 5 offense in the country? No, but they have the number 5 offense statistically because of who they played. They're averaging almost 44 points a game. Battle the Sams here. Wake Forest does have the better coaches, flat out better.
Mm-hmm.
Battle Sams, I'll take Hartman over Hal in a shootout. Wake Forest 58-50.
I think 58-50 sounds right. Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. All right, NC State's giving 2.5 to the Noles here in Tallahassee. Listen, one thing is commendable about Florida State, certainly, is they show up to play each week. Now, they got off to that horrible start at the beginning of the year, but they have not laid down. They have fought. They seem to be better in areas, but they are extremely limited from a personnel standpoint and limited from an offensive standpoint. I think that may doom them here. We'll see. But your thoughts on NC State on the road against the Noles?
So I don't think NC State's anything special, but they lost two key linebackers, two really good linebackers, and an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. They have taken some hits here, but I think they regained their footing. They talked some smack before the Miami game to the Miami players before the game, and I think it cost them. Now, they came up with a big stop. I mean, Louisville, I think, was like the 12-yard line, like middle, maybe 5-6 minutes to go in the game against NC State last week. They came up with a big stop. Then they drove down the field and methodically scored a touchdown. That can build some confidence here. Wolfpack has always seemed to play well against Florida State, 16-5 versus Florida State against the spread. And the Noles 1-7 against the spread off playing Clemson. I still think the undisciplined penalties might end up costing Florida State here. I like NC State 30-25.
Game of the week, and I don't think it's going to be much of a game, but I still want to know which side you're on. Alabama minus 28.5 against LSU. How can folks get it, Lee?
Just call 800-400-9741. We'll give you that game for free. And I've got a real strong opinion on one side. Actually had a losing week for my clients last week. We went 3-1-1 on your show, but full disclosure, we had a horrible Saturday and Sunday. But picking up some footing here. We did win Monday, Tuesday, past Wednesday, and won last night. If I would have lost, I had Indianapolis last night, up 42-10. If I lose that game, I probably would have taken off today. You probably would have called, and you just would have rang and rang and rang. Am I right?
I know somebody who actually got it because they had, what was it? Jets got 16.5 or 17.5, was it, late?
No. The line was 10.
10. Okay, so, I know what it was. Somebody bet a 6-point teaser. That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if he got it, God bless him. You know, when you win a game like that, what I do is if I'm like in Vegas, if I see someone out there with a cup, I put a $5, $10 bill right in there right now.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you had no business, right? Yeah.
You take care of them. So I'm not selling a month this week. I just can't do it. I want to prove to people I'm really good on the comeback. So if they want to get involved, 7 games on Saturday, $77. 5 in the NFL on Sunday, $55. It's an instant download as soon as you purchase it. Window pops open with all 7 games on Saturday or all 5 games on Sunday. ParamountSports.com.
Hey, I'm going to let you go in 30 seconds, but I got to believe that the Hard Rock Sportsbook coming open has got to be good for you, right?
Oh, no. Now it looks like they're in trouble. So,
well, no, man. No, don't tell me that news.
Oh, yeah, not good. So I'm going to send you
send me some.
Got some bad news.
Oh, no.
Send that to you.
Come on, man.
Looks like it could be shut down for a little while.
Grand opening, grand closing. All right. Yeah. All right. We'll talk about it later. Be well, good sir.
Okay, buddy.
All right. Take care. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Well, damn it. That is not cool.
That's what I heard from people who covered the Capitol here in Tallahassee, that it could open only to be tied up in the courts immediately.
Yeah.
But the fact that it got open, I thought it was going to be a non-starter.
Well, I got bets in the sports book
so
right now. What do we do?
What do we do?
I want my money. No. But
here, break your thumbs.
Here's the thing. I know somebody who represents the pari-mutuels, and so I knew there was a bunch of anger in the air. But can we just get our blank together? Let's go. Consenting adults want to make wagers in the state of Florida. Let's go.
What are we doing?
It's so annoying. Chef Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Tallahassee police are investigating a homicide after a man was found dead Thursday morning on West Georgia Street. The Tallahassee Police Department says just before 9 a.m., a man was found dead on a bench in the 600 block of West Georgia Street. Someone passing by the area saw the body at Carter Howell Strong Park and called TPD. A TPD spokesperson added that foul play is suspected. This is an open and active investigation with updates being provided as more information becomes available. Thousands of people will head to downtown Tallahassee next Thursday for the annual Veterans Day Parade. After delays delays caused by the coronavirus pandemic, the parade is making a comeback for the first time in 2 years. A 24-hour watch at the state's Vietnam Memorial will begin the start of the celebration. In addition to floats and marching bands, the 2021 iteration of the parade will feature 8 Gold Star families. The parade is scheduled to begin at 11 a.m. Thursday, November 11th. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McLemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered rain showers likely this afternoon, otherwise overcast skies. High temperatures reach up to 54, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, scattered rain showers likely, lows level off around 46. Overcast skies tomorrow, chance for isolated thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 55. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 55.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Charlie Crist, he's running for governor. To mention the governor, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. And we see it in presidential. We see it all the time. It's the new norm. We even saw it in local. That it should be. It's like, hey, I'm running for this local seat.
Do you understand? I heard a statistic that like half of our population reads at like an 8th grade level.
And what is the other 2/3 grade?
That means almost half does not. You're right.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Just 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 things connected at the same time, much to my chagrin. But the bottom line is sometimes these things have to work. They definitely have to work, especially when you're working from home. I have a home studio, all that stuff. And I rely on our friends at Xfinity to come up big time. So for my lifestyle, for my kids' lifestyle, for all the stuff that we do there at the house in the Cameron household, I rely on Xfinity and all that Mbps, Tom.
Yeah, that's right. Megabits per second.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And the GBs, the Mbps.
Yeah.
You want big numbers.
Yeah.
You want the capability. They call that bandwidth, I believe, in the tech circles.
Mm.
But we use that today, actually. This morning, we pushed it to the limit. We had a little bit of Scuttle, and we had a little bit of college sports book.
College sports book, State of Florida review there, yeah.
Just in general meeting time. So we need all those things to work so that we can see each other, have the visual aids. There have been a lot of web meetings this week that, again, require a little bit extra because we're trying to pull off mock broadcasts. So everybody's got a reason that they need good internet. Whatever your reason is, make sure you call Xfinity.
1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. That's 1-800-XFINITY. All right, there you go. I'm thinking something weird will happen this weekend. Something weird in the world of football. We're due. I think we're due for something weird.
Just because it looks like a rotten slate.
The slate's terrible, but maybe we'll get lucky and have some good games. I've been worried about it. I've so thoroughly enjoyed the ability to sit down and watch. I think 3 of the last 4 weekends have featured no fewer than 6 riveting games. It's like that one weekend where the 1 o'clock for the NFL were insane.
Oh, yeah.
Every game ended in the waning seconds or went to overtime with a big play or a last-second field goal or something crazy. When you get in a roll like that, you get excited. It's fun. We had a park your ass Saturday almost 2 weeks in a row. This slate is terrible. Legitimately, Auburn, Texas A&M feels like the only game other than ours, which I'm really excited about because I don't know what's going to happen in that game. I am curious. I'm worried, but at the same time, it's a 2-point spread. Obviously, should be a good game.
Yeah, you're right. There are times where, a midday kick, given what we do, I'm like, great, I lose the entire Saturday in terms of being able to watch other games because you got pregame stuff, but then there's also prep, for the game itself, kickoff. So in case any logistics need to be done. Game kicks off at 4, post-game. I won't be done until 10 o'clock tomorrow night. That's okay. I looked at this slate. I'm like, no big deal. I'll enjoy the Sunday action, and maybe, just maybe, there'll be some chaos along the way where I can just put it on TV too, but you don't have to bank on it. You're not missing like the greatest show in college football history tomorrow. Now, that said, you're right. It's those weekends where you go, oh my God, so-and-so is losing.
Mm-hmm.
Hun, put it on CBS Sports Network. They didn't think this was going to be a big game. It is.
I'm looking too. This is the time of year where you look for coaches, and we've already seen this. It just happened at TCU, and people have expressed the frustration that he didn't get a chance to kind of finish out the season since he built the program. But there's some ugly things there in terms of that relationship. And so Patterson's out, but you look around the country, coaches are fighting for their job. And that's why I brought it up to Lee. Like, they're stuck in an untenable situation. If they keep winning games, they're going to bring that guy back, and they're middling. They know that he's not the guy, but they also don't want to have to pay the rumored $8 million buyout if they were to make a move now. So you give him one more year, he's a dead man walking perhaps. But if they keep winning and playing well and putting up numbers,
and they've got a quarterback. Yeah,
you got a chance. But he's there. I look at Feldman on the Athletics website every week. He does the temperature check thing. And it's kind of fun just to look at the names to see who's in trouble. Like, I don't think anybody cares that Philip Montgomery is probably in trouble at Tulsa. They don't care that Rod Carey's in trouble at Temple. It's getting warmer every week.
Never heard those names.
Well, now you have. Maybe things have cooled off for Dino Babers. He looked dead in the water before, but they got a 21-6 win over Boston College. He's 5-4. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah. Sean Tucker helps things, and you've got him for another couple of years up at Syracuse.
Then there's Justin Fuente. A lot of this involves the ACC, and he is, he almost lost his job last year. And they're, what are they, 4-4? They did beat Georgia Tech. It was their first win in 5 games against FBS opponents, their last 5 games. Yeah. So also he has frosty relationships with the fans there in Blacksburg, as one would suspect, given that he has said some weird things in the press. Billy Napier would be a guy that they'd like to look at Virginia Tech.
Good. Get him the hell out of where he's at Louisville, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm Louisiana.
Yeah.
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 Get him the hell out of there before next year. He can transfer all his players out. They can go up.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah. Also the guy that they're looking at, Sonny Dykes could be another guy that they look at there. Scott Frost at Nebraska. And here's the problem, man. I was going to be lean towards, hey, you keep them around. They're playing harder. They're playing better. They're losing narrowly. No, man. No, they're 3-6. He's 10-22 in Big Ten play. 10-22 is a toughie.
Here's a scenario that gets interesting for you. It's potential, but it's not crazy. 17-17 late third quarter, South Carolina, Florida. Right? Like, if you see that and you're doing, you're
and then Florida
making the rounds
20-17, and even still,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
At
right?
that point, you're thinking, oh my God, they're going to blow that thing up. It's over. It's
entirely possible. He does not have a lot of good relationships in Gainesville.
Correct.
And so it may be to where it gets untenable because the relationship with the Bull Gators and that program, and then the administration is in love with Dan because he's a blockhead. So, you have a knuckle dragger for a coach who says dumb things and causes PR nightmares on the regular, then basically all but tells you doesn't really care about recruiting. That's a toughie. That's going to be a problem.
And yet he still has significantly more recruits than Manny Diaz. Very interesting.
See how much longer that lasts. If you lose to South Carolina, I think that's not a good South Carolina team at all.
That's the thing. It's like, if you're looking for who's coming and who's going, and who do we have the opportunities with? If there are any Florida State battles, I don't think there are that many. But if there are, maybe that favors us. But then, the Miami thing, if we've got 50-50s, Miami shows out again this weekend. Offense looks good in a win over Georgia Tech. They're coming up to town next week. what we thought a few weeks ago, which is, oh, buddy, look at the second half of the schedule. It's gettable. All of a sudden turns back to what we thought it was before the season began, which is this was always going to be tough.
Walt Bell's on this list, 2-22 in his time at UMass.
You won't find anybody more ambitious than Walt Bell. That's according to Walt Bell.
And already, Steve Adazio has found his way on the list at Colorado State.
There we go.
Come on in, man. Come on, Stevie.
Pastries and pigskin.
Let's do our wine show together, buddy. Let's get this thing going here. Come to Tallahassee. We'll have fun on the airwaves.
Oh, he's saying something to you.
Oh, Adazio is? I didn't have the screen
there
up.
He is.
There he is. Oh, hey.
Colorful language.
Steve's pissed. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
Craft for the Craft Brothers dealerships. We've experienced a couple of blockbuster months recently. What does that mean to you? It means we have a whole lot of quality pre-owned vehicles. And just when there are rumors about high prices on pre-owned cars, you guessed it. At Craft Nissan and Infiniti, we are discounting every single pre-owned car, truck, and SUV on our lot. Instead of Dad dreaming of a new truck or SUV, why not bring him out to the Craft Brothers lot on Mahan Drive to look at SUVs and trucks? Match what he wants. Craft Pre-Owned has dozens of Toyotas, some Ford F-150s, and Ram 1500s. And of course, we have a big supply of Infiniti and Nissan vehicles. If we don't have what you're looking for, we will do our level best to find the car you want. Let other dealers charge you too much for pre-owned cars. Craft Nissan and Infiniti are saying right now is the best time of the year to save on a quality pre-owned vehicle. Craft Nissan and Infiniti of Tallahassee on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if the car you are looking for doesn't have the Craft tag on it, you'll pay too much, way too much.
The all-new Smitty's Tap House and Grill is now open. Smitty's reflects a deep appreciation for fine craft beers and tasty bar treats, with family recipes handcrafted by Smitty himself. Try the house-made giant pretzels, made from scratch mozzarella sticks, and some of the best cheesesteaks you've ever had. We're not even scratching the surface on what Smitty's Tap House and Grill has to offer, so be sure to visit Smitty'sTapHouse.com to check out the full menu. Smitty's Tap House and Grill on Thomasville Road, just north of Cary Forest Parkway.
At Epps Decorating Center, we're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, available at Epps Decorating Center with 2 locations in Tallahassee. Find a store near you and visit EppsDecorating.com. That's EppsDecorating.com.
Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright says Colin Powell had many positive
A
traits.
first-rate listener and in government the ultimate team player, Colin was nevertheless always true to himself. He could not be moved by any threat or tempting promise to depart from what he felt was right.
Albright speaking at Washington National Cathedral. Today's funeral on a sunny and chilly day drew dignitaries and friends from across a wide political spectrum. Powell, the trailblazing soldier diplomat who rose from humble Bronx beginnings to become the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and later serving as the first black Secretary of State. Also at townhall.com, thousands of intelligence officers who are refusing to get a COVID-19 vaccine could soon lose their jobs.
Intelligence officers are particularly hard to replace because of the highly specialized work they do and the difficulties involved in completing security clearance checks. How many intelligence officers are not vaccinated? The Office of the Director of National Intelligence isn't saying. CIA Director William Burns says 97% of his CIA officers have been vaccinated. But Congressman Chris Stewart, a Utah Republican who's a member of the House Intelligence Committee, says in some agencies, the number of unvaccinated workers is as high as 40%. The government's vaccine mandate deadline for civilian employees is November 22nd. I'm Rita Foley.
The attorneys general of 11 states have filed a lawsuit challenging the vaccine mandate for employers issued by President Biden's administration. The suit contends that authority to compel vaccination rests with the states, not the federal government. Missouri's GOP Attorney General Eric Schmidt says in a court filing the mandate is unconstitutional, unlawful, and unwise. Stocks are higher, the Dow up 135 points, the NASDAQ 10 points. Positive territory. More at townhall.com.
Your pets have the same energy they used to? Do they have problems with itching, scratching, a dull coat, or goopy ears? Then your pets need Dinovite.
DINOVITE.com.
For over 20 years, pet owners have trusted Dinovite to supplement their pet's diet.
We started Dinovite, and in our first box, we noticed a difference.
Dinovite is an all-natural daily supplement made from whole foods that help support your pet's immune system, digestion, skin, and coat.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
Today's commercial pet foods are processed at high temperatures, which bakes out all the essential goodness. These processed foods can lack the essential vitamins, enzymes, and probiotics that contribute to overall good health. Adding a scoop of Dinovite to your pet's food bowl is the answer.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you'll want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. All 4 of them are on the Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Whitten Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Whitten's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Whitten Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Whitten Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at whittenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, maybe it could change for you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for Tallahassee Game Day, brought to you by Zaxby's.
Yeah,
Maybe.
That's that'll be a fun show to do. I'm going to spend a little bit more time tonight after the exhibition game looking into NC State, looking at areas that we can attack and kind of figuring out perhaps a way, a path to victory, Tom, as they say. We got to find a path to victory. I don't care if it's hideous. Find a way. Really, bottom line is, anytime you watch Florida State, knowing how limited Florida State is, if you can run the ball, you can win. If you can't, you don't. I mean, it's the simplest of ways to analyze Florida State here. Can you block it up enough, create angles enough to allow your quarterback, whose one exceptional talent is making people miss? Can you do that? The threat of his legs open up the rest of the running game, and it changes the outlook for every contest we play if you're capable of doing that. It's why I didn't like us against Clemson, because I knew going in we couldn't block them. But I don't know that that's the case against NC State. So how healthy are we? And I mean that not just in terms of who goes, but also, again, this week they were kind of limited because of a flu bug that was going around. I can't answer that question without knowing that. It gets difficult to kind of project anything. But if you can run this game, you find a measure of success at all. Because Florida State's weird. We're an offense with what they're trying to do. We're an offense that fails a lot, but then it's a big play. So it's nothing. Boom! Look at that, and that's how that goes. And then it's kind of nothing. Oh, there's another one. He's gone. And it's weird to watch the stops and starts of FSU's offense, but it's what they have to do. And if they're able to do it, they can remain in games because defensively they do a good job up front. And they give themselves a chance to kind of disguise a little bit of the problems they have at linebacker. And I do think they've gotten much more consistent play out of their secondary lately. You look at that first half of the season, the secondary was just a train wreck. They're no longer a train wreck. They're not elite by any stretch. And you're playing a lot of young guys. You're getting more and more reps. But I think with that, you're seeing some of the talent there. Like Kevin Noles was a very talented player. Cooper, they've got some guys that are talented players. So now if those guys begin to play with a level of confidence, you're noticing they make more plays on the football. You've seen that as the years progress. They make more plays on the ball. So, I mean, I am holding out hope there that is improving. There is a lot on the line for a lot of people right now. And in particular, if you're just going to go through week to week and talk about, whether the X's and O's, whatever it is you're talking about, that's fine. But I'm talking bigger picture right now. There's a lot on the line for members of this staff. And I don't know who Mike Norvell is looking at with two fingers to his eyes, two fingers back to them. But I got to imagine there's a couple of guys fighting for their job here. Maybe not expressly stated, but I think that's true.
That's why we're here. We can expressly state these things or speculate about them. Yeah, Adam Fuller, this is a huge month. This is it. One way or the other, you're going to know after the next 4 games. And NC State, Miami, 2 potentially lethal offenses with the way that NC State has balance and can attack you from any way, which way or form. And then Miami has found itself. And if Van Dyke comes in here, throws for 350 and Knighton runs for another 80 plus.
Well, that's probably
you're probably
lose your job.
That might be all she wrote. And that doesn't seem far-fetched.
No.
But it's also possible that we rise up and play. I'll be honest, when I was doing the piece this week for Warchant.com in the Third and Lang, it was easier to break down NC State because I just don't know this plague of a flu that's going over Florida State's campus. I don't know what we're going to look like. So I almost feel like if you're trying to break down what we can do in the personnel we have, I mean, it's hard. It's whack-a-mole.
Yeah, you really don't know. Yeah, I completely agree. You don't know. And they're very hush-hush about guys participating, not participating in practice. And, you certainly heard enough rumors this week about certain guys, and some of them even needing IVs. That's not good. That's never good. You never want to hear that. But I don't know. I mean, if you think about it in your own life, you've been sick as hell on a Tuesday and felt fine by a Friday.
Right.
I mean, it happens.
If there were guys that were affected earlier the week in practice, they might be okay, but this isn't a static situation. It passes from person to person, and the campus is having such a problem that there are memos and emails being sent out university-wide.
Stay away!
Saying stay away, telling professors not to have their kids go to Thagard to go get a medical excuse if they're absent from class. Like, they're like, nope, don't even bother doing that. We told you. The email yesterday says something to the effect of, we already told you, don't do this. We really mean it now. Things are overwhelmed over here, guys. Just chill out on the whole excused absences thing.
Well, I think ultimately that will make the difference in the game. I think you have a chance to win the game You're still an underdog, understandably, but you have a chance to win the game if you're at full strength. And I can't, this is every week. We do this with the offensive line. Typically, now we're doing it with the whole team just because of the flu.
Right. This feels like last year where you just don't know. Like, all those pregame updates on warchant.com are going to be critical about who's dressed and who isn't.
Yeah, that was always weird, and for the very obvious reason of the pandemic. But last year's team was, not a team that going into the NC State game a year ago, like, we got no chance to win this game. It's kind of like,
yeah, but you know what? Baby steps, man. You know what we're not going to see this year? I guarantee you. You're not going to see a defensive back line up 5 yards deep into the end zone if NC State has a goal to go. That's just not going to happen. And that's progress.
That's a problem. If you give up the goal line, that's a problem.
If you're yes.
Yeah, if you're at the back of the end zone where all they need to do is cross that little white line at the very front,
if you're in the font of NC or Carolina, like the C in Carolina, and you're like right in the middle of the gap of the C, that's probably not where you want to be before the snap.
No, that's probably not, man. It's I remember thinking, well, okay, this is sort of just a nothing year. Thank goodness, because we're lined up 5 yards off the ball here on the goal line. This is ridiculous.
That's the lasting image I have. That and the singles looks that we gave Malik Cunningham up at Louisville, where I'm like, oh, well, you could just do that. And he's like, hey, I could just do this. And then they snap the ball, and Adam's like, oh, they could just do that.
That was like just playing in the backyard with friends, and you got a mismatch where you get like a 15-year-old kid being covered by an 8-year-old.
Here's Travis J against Tutu.
Here you go. Get you some of this. Yeah. Have some fun with that.
Oh, you're going to put Tutu on an island with Travis. I see. Okay. Yeah, bring that pressure.
It's a shame. That has been a topic all year long about my man Travis J. It has not panned out, and we're so desperate to see something from a kid that athletic, and it just hasn't. I know it's real simple to say, hey, move him to receiver, but it's just so desperate. So desperate. And ultimately there are a lot of factors there. Talked about some of the off-the-field stuff, and I'm not talking about, I don't want to intimate any.
Confidence could be, a game changer for him, but you just it's got to start somewhere.
The
double deflector in his lap, maybe that makes him believe that he can make a play.
Think about this, though, and I do this a lot. I play those scenarios out on this show over the years. I've spent a lot of time talking about the way wins and losses impact the psyche, not only of players and coaches, but obviously of the fan base. And I was going through it, you can resolve in your mind that a game's going to play out a certain way, but every time it does, it elicits an emotion and a feeling, good or bad. If Florida State somehow, any way possible, were to win this game, you're right back to that feeling you had before the Clemson game, which was that there are tangible strides being made. There's real growth despite the severe limitations we see within the roster. And again, at that point, Tom, I don't know how much more they have to do, because the expectations, thankfully, were not overstated before the season. Meaning Norvell and his staff didn't make promises to recruits they couldn't keep. They didn't tell them they were going to be an 8-win team. They didn't tell them they were going to be a 7-win team. They didn't promise anything in terms of a bowl. So, the recruits see these games and they think, oh, okay, well, that's why they're recruiting me, because they're not any good. Got it. But if you beat NC State, and you had already beat North Carolina on the road, you beat Syracuse and played with Clemson, you're basically one more win away from feeling very good about securing this class.
Yeah.
I think you are, really. Again, because they didn't have heightened expectations as to what they were going to produce. If you tell a kid that you're going to win 9 games and you go out and win 4 or 5, that's obviously a problem. If you don't make those promises and then you see progress on the field from a group to be limited, you absolutely get excited about the potential.
Yeah, one thing I saw with Van Dyke's number, or sorry, not Van Dyke. I'm already thinking ahead to next week. See, you got me looking all over the schedule now. When you look at Devin Leary's numbers against pressure and non-pressure, and we have those advanced metrics, Pro Football Focus grades those things. I look at those more than I do necessarily like the whole grade. Look at situational numbers. When he's not pressured, his completion percentage is upwards of 71, 72%. Well, as you would imagine, he's completing 66 for the year. Anyway.
Yeah, he'll be pressured tomorrow, though.
When he's pressured, it drops to under 45%. And what's crazy about that is when he's blitzed, the numbers look exactly the same as when he's not blitzed, because they do a good job at NC State of picking it up. So what does that mean? You've got to generate the pressure with your front four. Now, we can do that. And if we do that and those numbers bear out and you see a bothered Devin Leary tomorrow and you see an offense that scores in the high teens, low 20s from NC State, and maybe we do win that game if NC State keeps it at that number, then you'll start to believe next week, well, why can't we do that to Miami? If we can do that to that offense, why can't we do it to Miami's offense? And then you're daring to dream about a 3-game win streak playing Florida in the final win of this, or the final game of the season. It's almost like rooting for an NFL team that's around 500 all season long. Like, you get to that 7th win with 3 weeks to go. This is in the 16-game era. Hey, you know what? We could make the wild card. We could be a wild card team.
Right.
Then the next week you lose to the Jets, and you're like, well, we were always terrible. That's where I feel like we are. Like, the week-to-week results matter more when you're not good. They change your opinion drastically as a fan when you're not good.
That is correct.
When you're really bad, you already know that you're really bad. When you're really good, you expect to win, and so it's not that interesting. I feel like in this case, the last month, and it could continue on for the next couple of weeks, every result changes the way we view the season completely from the positive side or the negative side.
Well, when you're when you're fighting, kicking, clawing, scratching, trying to get to 5 wins, especially after the Jacksonville State game. Yes, and you get to 3 because of a mini little run there and a surprise upset victory on the road. Now all of a sudden you see the finish line, you see the ability to attain something you thought was off the table. So all of it was rekindled. All of it was again, there was an uptick in hope.
Right.
And
yeah,
that's why you're watching closely to see, is this going to be quickly extinguished?
Part of me feels like if we get to 5 wins, we're going to go to a bowl anyway, because a lot of 5-win teams will say no. Some 6-win teams might even say, I don't know. Is it worth it?
It depends on if it costs us money.
We will want to, but we need those practices, and we will want to go.
I think we would want to go. I think it's probably a good look to go.
And we're a brand that a bowl would be all too happy to go grab. They're like, oh, well, we're a 10th rate bowl, but we get Florida State. We'll get Florida State.
Throw down in the St. Petersburg Bowl like we used to talk about when it used to be the Beef O'Brady's Bowl.
It's easier to travel to than getting up here for a lot of Noles fans, and I think we actually might be excited enough to go to it.
We would go to it
as a fan base. The whole fan base would actually be excited to go there. But the thing is that if you win tomorrow, let's just say the flu bug hits the right people, meaning, it's just they're not critical pieces to the puzzle, and they'll be fine next week. You win tomorrow, you're playing for a bowl berth next week. Not because it gets you to 5 wins, but because if you beat Miami, you're probably going to beat Boston College.
Oh, yeah. And right now, Boston College is so banged up with all the problems that they've had. I mean, they scored 6 points last week. Yeah. Now, there is a rumor they're about to get that quarterback back. And if that happens, that's problematic.
It is, but it might be a score fest. Okay, let's do a score fest after the Miami game on the road. But if you win this game tomorrow, that's where the conversation goes. It's like, all right, guys, one time this week. And you can put yourself in a position where you win 6 out of 7 games on the schedule going into Florida.
It's so precarious. The whole thing is precarious because on the one hand, because you did what you did to start the year, culminating with an unforgivable loss to Jacksonville State, then you're not able to get the blanket benefit of the doubt from the fan base, who's like, well, wait a minute, are you good coaches? Because you just did that. That did happen.
And they're correct to feel that way.
Correct. But then they did turn things around, and they found a way. I've said before, they're able to get blood from a stone here. They are so one-dimensional. They have very little firepower. I mean, your receivers, not good. Tight ends, not good. Offensive line, oft hurt, not deep, frequently average at best. Your quarterback, one-dimensional. So how is it you won games? How is it that you are able to run for over 200 yards a game for much of this year, right? How are you able to do that? Well, that's scheme. That's finding a way despite grave adversity.
And also 3 letters, ACC.
Well, that's true, but that's where you're at, and
right.
You have to find a way.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that deserves high marks. Good job. You're finding a way. Putting kids in a position to succeed, which is what we talk about. Listen, would you like more balance? Would you like more diversity of talent at each of these segment groups? Would you like the ability to throw the ball vertically more consistently? If you had better receivers and a more accurate quarterback, you could, but you don't. So you got to play the games. You're not allowed to just sit around and suck all day. You've got to find a way to make plays and move the football and give yourself a fighting chance to win games by putting players in a position to succeed. And they have done that fairly consistently despite having those severe limitations. So we brought up why you don't get the benefit of the doubt because of what you did early. Then we bring up the positive signs that you are innovative, good coaching staff. So fans are sort of stuck right in the middle right now with this group in terms of their emotional investment and belief as to where it's headed. I wonder how many recruits probably feel that way. I wonder how many existing players on the roster feel that way. I don't know. I would bet that it's like a 50-50 split here. And it's interesting just watching the way this plays out. Each game then has a huge sway and impact as to which direction the wind blows there.
Yeah, I think for short-term optimism it does. I think long-term optimism in a way has been satiated after 0-4 in a way that it could never have been without 0-4. Like you can't feel this good about the buy-in.
Can't feel that good about being 3-5 if you had unless you win 3 of your last 4 games. Sure.
Well, but what I'm saying too is that this is not the same group that's quitting on their coaches, and you've got a toxic locker room.
No, that
you don't want to test it more, but I mean that they bounce back from this is also, I think, good for the long-term prognosis.
That is true, but as Mike correctly pointed out and did say, he didn't want any part of taking credit for that, even though it is his job, right? He was like, well, that's the bare minimum. So fans can acknowledge it and say that it's happened and that is progress and that's good to know. But it is kind of the bare minimum.
Well, if he was taking a victory lap for it, I'd be more worried.
Right.
See what we've done here? I'm like, defiant Mike Norvell.
No. Of course, you're right. No, I'm saying that's right of him to say. You can still acknowledge that it happened, and that's a good thing. But it's also true that it's just you've accomplished the very first thing that you had to get done.
Ever seen Little Giants? That was a big movie when I was a kid.
Yes.
We gained a yard, and everybody goes nuts. 2nd and 9. We gained a yard. That's where we are.
Oh, man. Let's get to some picks here shortly. It's Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Warchant TV.
Every great construction project, whether it's a new addition or renovation, starts with a plan. At T-Spark, we are excited when our clients contact us to assist with that plan. Through our team of architects, draftsmen, engineers, we can help you with your project's planning and design, potentially saving costs in the long run. Whether you have a residential or commercial project, we look forward to working with you. Call us today or visit us at tsparkconstruction.com. License number CGC 1525336.
Have you ever finished a painting project at your home or business and thought to yourself, wow, that was fun. I really like how sore my arms and hands are. And those sloppy edges and corners, I'll get used to it. Not a chance. So before you get all your brushes and rollers and buckets and blankets, contact B&B Painting of Tallahassee. Interior painting, exterior, commercial, whatever you need painted, B&B Painting of Tallahassee is your first choice. Get a fast, friendly, and free quote today with a quick visit to bnbpaintingtallahassee.com. That's bnbpaintingtallahassee.com.
What's important when shopping at a gun store? Let's start with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Then add top-notch service, great selection and pricing, and a personal shopping experience only found at a locally owned and operated business. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
Hey guys, it's Greg Tish here. If you know me, you know how much I love to grill, smoke, and cook outside. With the holidays just right around the corner and the cooler weather, there's nothing better than a backyard fire pit or a custom outdoor kitchen. But where do you start? Well, you start at Hearth and Patio of Tallahassee. They have everything for gas grilling, charcoal, standalone grills, built-ins, custom kitchens, unique high-end fire pits, and you can even build your own pizza oven. And don't forget about maintaining your indoor fireplace. If it hasn't been used in a while, it's a good idea to have Hearth and Patio come take a look at it to make sure it's safe to use. Or you can replace the whole thing and transform the look and style of your room. If it has anything to do with fire, you need to call Hearth and Patio. Write this number down. It's 727-4282. That's 727-4282. Or you can always check out their website to view all their products and services at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
You went online to switch your car insurance to Progressive so you could save money. But then you saw a friend request from an old summer camp buddy. And now here you are, clicking through photos of his ball team from 2011. Oh, looks like they won the championship that year. Then he moved to Tulsa. Oh, a new tattoo. Yes, they said it was easy to save hundreds on car insurance with Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National average savings by new customer surveyed who saved in 2019.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com. Victory. By the way, I'm assuming we both had the Colts last night. So I was telling Lee Sterling, Tom, that I had somebody I know cover because they indeed did purchase the points. And you talk about a backdoor cover. At one point, it's 42-10. The final is 45-30. He purchased the 6.5, upping the total to 16.5 and getting that little teaser, please.
Yeah, I know somebody. You know what's amazing? I can just say this now. You know, it's like my buddy down in Tampa texted me. He's like, "Hey, I jumped on plus 24.5 on the live on the Hard Rock because I feel like the Colts are just going to run the ball on the line of scrimmage."
Yeah.
And it paid off.
Luckily for me, I have half my team on a bye week this week, and so I had Hines in the game, and he went nuts.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, way to go, Naheem.
That's a situation where in the 70s, like, you dog.
Oh, it was Bob
Oh,
Birkin.
you dog.
It was Bob Birkin. I got a text.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, I got a text from him.
Oh, you will.
There were some expletives.
He'll give you good texts and bad texts, though. He's an equal opportunity texter.
Oh,
He'll congratulate you,
This
too.
text was solid. He was like, "Are you effing kidding me?" I was like, "Hey, man, I was at your house when I drafted him. You heard the celebration of my voice when I got him in the last round. It was for this moment that he shined against your sorry-ass team." All right, cue it up. Let's bring Mama in.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Mama, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
And I shall. Hello, Mama. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. I am happy the weekend is here, ready to watch some football, ready to lengthen the separation here between you and me in the win column.
I know. Well, it didn't happen this week. We split.
We did split. Yeah, we did. You got an overtime win.
I did, and it was about time. I had earned one since every other one that I've had, I've lost.
I felt for you this weekend because your favorite player in the league, Derrick Henry, is out for the year. That's awful.
I know it. I am just sick about it. And I think that is really a devastating blow for Tennessee.
Yes, it is. Yes, I would dismiss them.
Yeah, I mean, I think without him, they are just not the same team. But I really feel bad because gosh, he's such a great player, and I will miss watching him.
Yeah, yeah, he's enjoyable to watch. All right, we both had the Colts last night. They dispatched the Jets as we figured they would, and that was an easy win there.
They did. I tell you, that one guy, what was that guy's name?
Taylor or Hines? Which one? The both running backs went nuts.
No, not Hines. Who's the other one?
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
That was something. I mean, he just ran amok.
Well, it's the offensive line that you should be praising because he ran through gaping, gigantic, cavernous holes every time he got the ball.
He did. I know. No, I was going to say that. You know, I watch the offensive line.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah. Yes, I'm very aware of them.
All right, so let's get to these picks, Mom. Saints, Falcons.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints. I'm not sure exactly who's going to play quarterback, but I'm telling you, I just don't have a lot of faith in Atlanta. I know they win last week, but but I'm not taking them, especially playing in New Orleans and everything. I felt bad for Jameis. That was just an unlucky thing.
It was terrible. Yeah, he was playing pretty well too. I hated for him as well. He's tough. He'll battle back, but he's lost for the year. I'm torn on this game. I really am. I don't know. I'll take the Saints because of the defense, but I don't feel good about it. And it's not a game I want to watch because it'll be ugly. But
I know it is a hard one to pick, but I just feel like New Orleans is a hard place to play in that dome.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm picking them as well. All right, Broncos at Cowboys.
Yeah, now I just was listening before, and they say Dak may play. I don't know if he should or not, but I'm going to take Dallas.
I'd take him if Mike McCarthy were playing. That's fine. Big fat ass in the ball.
What happened with? Teddy Bridgewater is good. I don't know what's happened to Denver.
Good's a bit strong, Mom. He's a serviceable starter in the NFL.
Yeah. I think they should be doing better than they're doing.
They're 4-4. They feel like a 4-4 club to me. He feels like a 4-4 quarterback to me. That's Patriots at Panthers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots.
Me too. Vikings at Ravens.
Yeah, I think this could be pretty good. I'm taking Baltimore.
Me too, but I know.
I think it's a toughie.
I do too. Browns at Bengals.
Yeah, now this game, I just don't know what to do with this game, but I'm taking Cincinnati. I think they're going to be mad that they lost last week, and I'm not sure what's happening with Baker Mayfield and that whole thing with Odell Beckham. They may be all in a Twitter. So I'm taking Cincinnati.
I'm taking Cincinnati because I think they're better than Cleveland. I think Baker's probably relieved that Odell Beckham Jr. is gone, but I do think the Browns have some issues on offense. They can run the ball, but I think the Bengals defense is much better against the run than they have been. I'll take the Bengals here. Bills at Jags. We're both going to take the Bills. Texans at Dolphins. Oh my God, what a stink fest.
I know, that is a bad game. I'm taking Miami. I'm not sure why, but I'm taking them.
Because you can't, in good conscience, take the Texans ever to win anything. You can't. Raiders.
I remember that.
Raiders at Giants.
Yeah, now this game, the Raiders have been playing really good, but Lord, have they had a lot of mess going on there between John Gruden and now one of their players has killed somebody in a car wreck. I worry about them, and the Giants played better last week. I don't know what to do with this game. I'm going to take Vegas.
I'm going to take the Giants. Give me the Giants at home to win this game. At some point, the amount of off-the-field problems and distractions for the Raiders, and by distractions, I don't mean to be dismissive. I mean, that's a profoundly sad situation.
Terrible.
At some point, I just think it catches up to you. It's hard to continue to be focused. I'll take the Giants at home.
I know. I feel that way, too. I think that might have been not a good pick on my part. You just never know. Sometimes that really galvanizes them together, and sometimes not.
Let's go with Chargers at Eagles.
Chargers.
Packers at Chiefs. No Aaron Rodgers as he's gone off the deep end.
He has gone off the deep end, and that just really saddens me because
how much you like Aaron. I know.
I did. I just loved Aaron Rodgers, except when he played us. But I don't understand why he would lie, and oh my Lord, it really bothers me. Anyway, I'm taking Kansas City.
Yeah, I will too. I'll take Kansas City here as well. Cardinals at 49ers.
I know it. I am taking Arizona.
And Titans at Rams. You're going to take the Rams. Me too.
I am.
Finally, Bears and Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers. I don't think Chicago can do it. I don't know about Pittsburgh either, but I took Pittsburgh.
Me too. All right, so we have just the one, I think. Is that right? Yeah, Giants Raiders is the only game.
Giants Vegas game different. That's it.
That's it. That's all. You won't fall that much further behind.
I won't. I'll make a steady climb up one rung of the ladder.
We'll see. I love you, Mama. Bye-bye.
I love you, too. Have a good weekend.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Yeah. Not a lot. Got to get better. Not enough.
You do a lot of work.
Yeah. This slate here is... Yeah. Well, I told you last week when I had the sneak peek to the Jets-Colts Thursday night affair that we were in trouble. I was like, oh, boy, they're kicking off the week on a sorry start right off the bat, and then Falcons-Saints is a mess. Broncos-Cowboys,
Yeah, this feels like a weekend. If you want to get something done, get it done. Or by that, I mean just go play golf or something, right?
I mean, I think there's a level of intrigue surrounding that Packers-Chiefs game. There's a level of intrigue surrounding the Chargers-Eagles game, just because the Chargers now have shown that they've got some problems. They've got the ability, the propensity to play a game that is out of left field, where you're like, what the hell was that? So now all of a sudden you don't know about that. I would say that I have marginal interest. What would have been good, what would have been a lot of fun, is that Titans-Rams game. But damn it, man.
Well, so would have Chiefs and Packers.
Sure. Well, if Aaron were playing, I think that's a lopsided win for the Packers.
It could be.
Chiefs got issues, man. That's just who they are now. Not real good.
It's a terrible shame. Terrible shame.
I know you're devastated, and I'm devastated. Hey, listen, I it's okay that a couple of these teams have fallen by the wayside either through insanity or injury, but
in Baltimore, insanity or injury.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Yeah. Hey, I'm just fighting for home field. We're just trying to do our thing. We get to sit back and lay back in the cut this week as Bucs fans.
Well, and exactly. You pawns out there.
Yeah, you guys do your thing.
You do your thing.
Yeah.
The real pieces on the board. Yeah, we'll see you in just a little bit. That was also not just an insanity sounder, but also a thank you to our friend Eric Angel, who always supports us.
I did not have the StreamYard up. I appreciate that. Eric, thank you very much. And by the way, I will note, since you're saying basically come to the CP. Yeah, absolutely. We'll be there. Me and Corey Clark, happy hour, 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock. I will leave that said happy hour and make my way right over to the basketball game. By the way, I think something was canceled. Florida State canceled, or the city canceled something today. Let me double check this.
Did they?
Yeah, we
need the break to check it?
The block party has been canceled.
Oh, well, because College Town is and downtown could be wrought with the flu.
Canceled. They're done with that. That's it. That's nobody go rolling over there.
I was hoping he wouldn't say the football game. I'm like, what is it? 2020 all over again?
No. The block party has been canceled. So that's it. Go to the game. Go to the basketball game.
Come to the CP.
Well, of course.
Except for you students.
You stay a million miles away, sickly students. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A vintage airplane crashed on the runway of Tallahassee International Airport Thursday afternoon and shut down commercial air traffic for a period of time. A P-51 Mustang tried to take off around 2:15 p.m. when it crashed after leaving the runway while landing. The plane was tied to the Tuskegee Airmen exhibit at the airport that runs until Saturday. Governor Ron DeSantis is pushing back against the federal government's new vaccination rules that were announced Thursday. The federal policy would affect tens of millions of Americans who work at companies with 100 or more employees. Those workers will need to be vaccinated against COVID-19 by January 4th or get tested for the virus weekly. At an afternoon news conference in Tallahassee, the governor said Florida will be filing a lawsuit against the federal government to fight the new policy of joining Alabama, Georgia, and private plaintiffs under the Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration's new rules. Companies that fail to comply could face penalties of nearly $14,000 per violation. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McKenmoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered rain showers likely this afternoon, otherwise overcast skies. High temperatures reach up to 54, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, scattered rain showers likely, lows level off around 46. Overcast skies tomorrow, chance for isolated thunderstorms, high temperatures reach up to 55. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 54.
This is Dr. James Ryan Finn from Finn Chiropractic, encouraging you to join us for our 5th annual Healthiest Chili Cook-Off. We're doing this November 10th on Veterans Day Eve to honor our veterans, and we are supporting Wreaths Across America. If you'd like to come and sponsor Wreath, enjoy some great chili, enjoy some great live music outside, please RSVP as a chef or a taster at finnchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com, because your chiropractor loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
It's Congressman Michael Waltz on the Greg Tish Show.
Good morning, Congressman. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well.
Again, just what you have to go through day in and day out. I don't know how you have hair left, or like Matty Rowe, just completely bald.
Hey!
Sorry.
And the irony of it all, the progressives are the tail wagging the dog. This whole bipartisan White House is a joke. We're just watching them eat their own.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road, and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Contractors to do their work for them. T-Spark Enterprise hires employees, and that's because they value the immense benefits that come with having a trusted, reliable, and highly trained crew that can be held to the high standards T-Spark is known for, experts in their craft and pride in their work. That's the T-Spark difference. Best in town, period. Give them a call today, 766-1340, or get a free quote online at tsparkconstruction.com.
People like to get things done around the house when the weather warms up around springtime. You know, it's like, let's spring cleaning. Let's do this. Let's do that. I feel like the winter time is a better time to get stuff done.
So you're not sweating your ass off?
Yeah, partly. It feels more invigorating to be outside in these type of conditions.
It does. It also feels like it'd be a good night to sit around a fire and enjoy a porter, smoke a cigar.
Enjoy a porter. My God.
Enjoy a porter, smoke a cigar, warm the feet by the fire, listening to some good tunes.
Oh,
forget about it. This is your Friday. There it is.
After a porter or two, then you cut it off and you go to just the nightcap of a little single malt.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you want. You have 1 or 2. I may have 3 or 4. And then I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right there. It'll be all right. I'll be walking back into my house.
This is porter season too over at the CP, you know, because it's porter season when it makes it on the main tap at the CP, right?
Man, a good porter, a good stout.
Yeah.
This time of year.
Is your dad swinging by today, or is he going straight to basketball?
He's going straight to basketball with my kids.
Okay, then it becomes critical that next Friday we have our Guinness. We have not had
it is a traditional get together, and you feel like the season is lost if you don't do it. I agree with you. I agree with you greatly.
Our man Buffalo Tom is throwing down. He one-ups everybody. He's well. I don't know. We have to post the comment, but yeah.
Fire, drink, blunt, music, porch, TV, game on. Okay, Tom. Have yourself.
There he is.
Have yourself a Friday. Tom.
Is that a photo of Tom that's on the chat right now?
They canceled the block party. I love this. Yes. Okay, Preston. They did. Yeah.
It can get high for you.
Woo. I will report. I don't think you're going to the basketball game, right? I'll report back to the extreme quicks that I see from Caleb Mills tonight. I'm really excited about that game.
This isn't a woe is me thing either. It's just like when we're done with the happy hour, it takes about 25 minutes to break. By the time I get there, it'll be like the start of the second half. So there's no point.
Yeah, I'm going to be late. They're getting there early. They're getting a seat. It's free, everybody out there. So you can get a great seat to catch this squad, which has a lot of new players and a lot of players that even if they were existing players, didn't get a big role last year. So an opportunity to see a team that I think is going to be very different than what we've seen from Ham's team in the past. They're going to have to be, they're going to have to win with quickness. They're going to have to win as a smaller team, although they do have 2 7+ footers, and they got guys, but they're not as developed. Also, I would just note that that's who won the national championship a year ago, is an interchangeable group of backcourt players that could all shoot and beat you off the pounce. The game seemed to go that way, but I don't know that we have those kinds of guys. I mean, those were elite guys, but they were also all transfers. So the game of basketball is going to kind of go in that way. Ham's going to have to navigate some waters now that might be frustrating, because I do think we're going to have a larger discussion, both for football, basketball, for that matter, all of the meaningful sports. NIL is going to matter, and you're going to have to figure out a way. I mean, Kentucky, as I noted before, we were in on a guy who's got to deal with a Porsche dealership.
Right.
That's problematic. I mean,
well, maybe the gospel label can, maybe the kids can come in and
yeah.
They can pose for the cover shoot of the label.
Yeah. So whatever it is, you're going to have to find a way. You're in the midst of a season now in football where, okay, get through, show progress, get better, get this class procured. Raising the level of talent changes what the expectations are and what's possible, certainly. But this offseason, man, I'm really hoping to hear better news regarding those that are being asked to help out from an NIL standpoint. Basically, it's all the stuff that used to go on hush-hush behind the scenes, certain people who had the means to do so, helping out their alma mater so that certain players felt influenced in a way that benefited you. And now it's all above board. It's NIL. You just funnel it through a worthwhile organization and you give them a deal. But we need to have people do that.
Yeah. The Warchant.com Hoops Report with Bronny James.
I don't know that we have enough. No,
in that particular instance, I don't think it'll make a difference.
No, it wouldn't make a difference. But yeah, I mean, it is disconcerting. And it's funny because a lot of people, it's hard to live in the now when you're worried about the future. So, on the one hand, I say
it's on a fortune cookie somewhere.
Well, I mean, on the one hand, you just want to watch the gradual steps being made to improve as a program and the buy-in and all that stuff and the recruiting class. And on the other hand, people love to, we all do, we're very impatient. Ham was talking about this yesterday. You love to project 2 and 3 and 4 years from now. And if you get caught doing that, you do get very concerned by what Florida State currently doesn't have. Now, we also know how quickly these things change. And we've also seen programs that have the means fall flat on their face. So there are other factors that influence whether or not a program is successful. But you do have a baseline that you have to reach. So, just saying. You do have to get to a certain place.
From baseline to baseline.
Yeah, you do have a baseline. Yeah. I mean, Florida has enough rich alumni boosters, fully endowed scholarships, and all kinds of opportunities in NIL, and they're falling on their face because their coach is insane. But the point is, you do have to get to a certain level, and then we'll worry about the rest.
Well, that's why our law school got a lot better last 10 years. You look at where we are in public universities across the United States.
That's great, Tom.
Listen, that's how we're building towards getting those endowments.
Oh, yes, but nobody wants to hear that because that's 30 years from now that the benefit of that takes hold, and you have the kind of money flowing back into the university from those that graduated from a more prestigious Florida State than we did. That's fine.
Not if you're a lawyer and you lay it all on the line on the Hard Rock Sports app this weekend. You can really help the program.
Maybe, or they shut it down.
Don't do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Do it for the program.
We'll come back, wrap it up momentarily. Jeff Cameron, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. 3 Real Talk Radio.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mandlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
Choose Hearth and Patio for custom fireplaces, maintenance, outdoor grills, kitchens, fire pits, lighting, and so much more. Check out all of Hearth and Patio's options online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth and Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Live and living color and totally free. Subscribe to Warchant TV on YouTube, the digital home of Warchant.com. From the practice field to pregame and the phone calls afterwards, Warchant's YouTube channel is home to live programming like Seminole Headlines, Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, as well as Trench Talk, a live Q&A with Noles offensive lineman Devontae Love-Taylor. Just search Warchant on YouTube and click or tap the subscribe button. That's it. It's totally free. Warchant TV on YouTube. Just another reason we're the ultimate Seminole sports source.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Into payroll, save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com. I'm not applying that to anything. I'm just letting you know that's what you need to do. There you go. Get you some of that.
We were just talking about people that needed to be added to the payroll, namely 17 and 18-year-olds, right? You know, that's where we are now in college sports.
We got asked, how can I help? Tom wants to know. Not you, but Tom on the chat. I agree. Let's do that. We need to provide a Bama table not only from a nutritional standpoint, but a financial one as well.
How about the Spearhead campaign?
We need to come up with a catchy. I cannot believe after all these years we don't have some sort. I don't mean you and me.
Right.
I mean the university.
Well, they've got the levels of the boosters.
Yeah,
They're like,
sucks.
Here's your rock, and then here's stone, and here's all these little ones.
No, you know what? No.
Here's feather.
Do all that stuff. But I'm saying, like, the IPTAY fund in and of itself just sounds like, oh, yeah, I should do that. Yeah. It's $10. I should do it.
It also sounds like a federal requirement that screws you out of about 10% of your income. It's like, oh, the damn IPTAY. Why am I paying into this IPTAY?
Again, I forgot this went through.
I'm never going to need the IPTAY. Why am I paying into the IPTAY?
The annual Aubrey Boyd game tipping off at 6 p.m. at the TLC Double C against Florida College. Tom, you know they're located in Temple Terrace.
That's right. Almost went there.
So it is tomorrow on the pregame show, 9 a.m., running counter to College Game Day. Not a great slate in the world of college football, so you don't want to tune in. You would anyhow, but especially tomorrow to Tallahassee Game Day. Our friends at Xfinity make that possible, as we'll have high-speed internet cranking through here. That's and be able to, you can watch it on Warchant TV without all the glitches and the like.
A glitch. You don't want the glitch.
No glitch.
And you can tell the way we produce this thing, man, we got a lot of elements. You know, if it's not Chris Farley, it's the fraudulent goats. We've got 2 different video feeds. Sometimes we patch in other people.
They're the goats.
They're the goats. You need all these things to be at your fingertips, and you need them to respond in a timely fashion. Nobody has time anymore. If the internet's out for 5 seconds, people freak out. You know that, everybody out there. Your kids.
The power, too.
Your kid. Well, I think the internet's more important than the power. Like, if the power's on and there's no internet, people don't know what to do anymore. It's like they've never heard of a board game. So let's not put ourselves through that situation, people. Let's make sure we have Xfinity, and that's what you can do right now by calling 1-800-XFINITY. get yourself converted if you haven't done so.
By the way, also, when you play the GOAT clip, I've now discovered not only does he definitely kick him in the face, it's a 1-2. Pat, pat. Look, 1-2.
Yeah,
Gets him twice.
I think you're right.
He's like, here's a little side action, followed up by an uppercut.
What did we name them? We need to go back.
Oh, I think somebody was Roy.
Maybe Roy, like Julian.
Byron.
Yeah. There might have been a Julian in there.
Enoch.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Given the sound that a goat's hoof makes when it jumps on things, Enoch is
good.
perfect.
Yeah. Also,
call him Nucky.
Even a little evil.
Oh, yeah.
Enoch always sounds like it's a little evil.
Yeah. Like you can't hear the guy overseas going, hello, Enoch.
By the way,
Yeah,
so you saw this week.
Oh, yeah. I tweeted about it.
Oh, that's amazing. So he now says he's had 800?
800 pizzas in the last year or 10 months? 18 months. 18 months. Sorry.
Joe wants to know. I think
810 months. That's too crazy. Who would ever do that?
Earl. I think it was Earl. Was one of the names.
Earl?
Earl.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Earl and Enoch.
There you go. Double E.
It's a great song called Theo and Weird Henry, but that doesn't work. One of those goats could be Weird Henry. Look at old Weird Henry.
Well, let's see the clip again. Let's find which one is Weird Henry. He doesn't have to be in the foreground.
He's Weird Henry.
The one on the right.
Far right is Weird Henry.
Yeah.
Just hopping over. Look at old Weird Henry. He does the minimal amount of work, by the way. He barely clears the hay. He's like, oh, that'll do it right there. I got it.
Yep.
Okay, guys, let's go race out here into the field.
And then the one that's cropped all the way on the left is Christopher. Bless his heart, he's just not fast enough to get there first.
He's not fast. He's a little slow. Not only is he a little slow, he doesn't have hops. He's struggling. He's a little overweight. He's aging.
But he's always there. Like, you know, if you need attention, you know, you just want to spend some time with the goats. The other ones, they shun you. But there's Christopher. He's always there. He's such a sweet guy.
Jerry's a good one. Jerry the goat. There's Jerry. He's over there. Jerry, Enoch, Earl, Weird Henry. There they all are.
So we're going to have to freeze frame this so we can put name tags underneath
over
them.
every single one of them. Yeah, absolutely. I think already we've discovered everybody's going to like Weird Henry the most.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
Weird Henry's got a story.
Look at Weird Henry. He's done everything he could.
When Weird Henry comes.
You can't tell that it's a Libations Friday, Lucy, a QC edition of the show, can you guys? You can't tell. Oh, I don't. I'm so anxious.
Goodbye, YouTubers.
I want to fast forward to the game.